Education is a very valuable tool that is unfortunately not available to everyone. Students, however, oftentimes forget this. Williamsfield High School is a school that is filled with all different kinds of individuals. Some who choose to invest themselves into sports, some who choose to invest themselves and their time into music or into arts, and others who choose to invest themselves and put all of their effort into school and education itself. All of these people make our school what it is. Although we all attend Williamsfield as a Blackhawk, not all of us appreciate the valuable education that we are receiving. Every day, walking to my classes, I hear complaints from students echoing down the hallways. I hate school. School is stupid. Why am I here? These are all things students are saying on a daily basis without much thought. In fact, I have even said some of these things. All because we don't realize how much of a privilege education truly is. We are forgetting how valuable education is. No, you do not have to love going to school or sitting in class for hours and hours every day to appreciate it. Thousands of people in the world are being starved of education and crave it, while we sit here in our chairs complaining that we have schooling and education handed to us. Outside of school, I see article after article and story after story of thousands of individuals being deprived of education. One of the most famous advocates for education is Malala, a Pakistani activist for female education. She personally had education stripped away from her, and she craved to be taught. Her powerful movement has inspired thousands and thousands of people to fight for education and to fight for schooling. I believe her experiences and her movement can help open students' eyes to see how lucky they are to be able to receive the education that they do. After seeing so many different examples of individuals being denied an education, I believe that students in the United States don't value education enough, and that they would have a different outlook on it if it was taken away from them. If students no longer had the opportunity to go to school, they would eventually want it back and would want to learn. However, we are so used to having school and other forms of education readily available to us that we oftentimes forget not everyone is as lucky as we are. In order to truly understand this, students need to put themselves in others' shoes, like those in Africa who have little to no schooling available, or women in the Middle East who are told to stay at home. All of these are people who would gladly switch places with any student. When I hear the complaints and whines from students about having to go to school, it bothers me a little. For one, they are discrediting all of their teachers and all the hard work they've put into helping them by saying that it's useless. 2, they are being selfish. And lastly, education should be valued because it gives students amazing opportunities to grow. Our education system is not perfect, far from it actually, but it is still something to value and to be grateful for. Other parts of the world are not as fortunate to have the education they want and the education that they deserve, which is why I believe students should value and should appreciate education. From my experiences at school, I have learned to be more grateful and to be more appreciative of my education, because I am lucky and I am fortunate to have it in my life. I believe that education should not be taken for granted. I believe that education is valuable. I believe we should be thankful for our education and schooling because it does have worth. I believe that students can learn to value education and see how much it allows us to grow.